At the start of the job, that we were asked to put into a waste management program where we were meant to reduce and recycle as much waste as possible.
The first thing you've got to understand that buildings use about 40 to 50% of the world's energy. 25% of the trees logged in the world are used in buildings. The building industry produces about 25% of New Zealand's waste. So these are all indicators that actually the building industry itself is actually one of the big environmental, or one of the major industries which affects the environment.
A really interesting process has been the way that Fletcher's, as the building contractor, has come on board in terms of ESD. Everybody does, curbside recycling, but the construction industry till now hasn't really grappled with that as a concept.
So earlier on, we sort of were a bit blind on exactly how that was going to go. So we approached the City Council, and obviously with the tips and the landfills and things, they're obviously a big player, and asked them what they could help us out with. And as the project progressed, we came across more and more products that we could recycle or reuse with the help of the City Council. Timber obviously being one of the main construction wastes that's generated from the construction site. Some types of plastic. Gypboard was recycled and composted as well. Metal obviously is an easy one, scrap metal. So as the project progressed, different types of recyclables were used. Obviously towards the end of the project we had a lot of cardboard and packaging, so we recycled a lot of that as well. And all in all we got around about 60% on volume of all the waste was recycled off the job, which was a good effort actually, considering on most sites up to date we hadn't really done a hell of a lot of recycling at all.
The materials used in this building had to be consistent with the ESD focus, as well as the actual use of the building itself.
The timber in the building is all sustainably sourced. We used timber framing instead of steel stud framing to reduce the embodied energy of the construction.
The cement content of concrete used in the building used 65% recycled fly ash. It's a byproduct of the smelting process, therefore is a recycled use of energy.
They're quite deep foundations on this building. They're as deep as the building is tall. There's about 60 odd piles under the building, and we're on reclaim as well, so that always adds another dimension to things. The other thing is the structure itself. It's got a large cantilever out the front, as you can see, and those sorts of things always pose challenges in building because of things like deflection and those sorts of things, so we had to be very careful on the sequence of how we built the building. Obviously one of the main things that this building stands out is all the glass and the facade. It's quite a complicated glazing system on the building. You're down to sort of 1 or 2 mil with a lot of the glazing systems, so those sorts of things, there's no room for error and all that.
The attitude of those involved has been fantastic. There's been a high degree of alignment around what Meridian's been looking to achieve through this project, and all those parties that have been involved have really bought into that as well.
The sustainable aspect just adds another dimension to the whole thing. And yeah, it's the right thing to do, we're helping out and doing our bit.
So the importance of a building like Meridian's building is actually it provides an example for the future. It provides something for mainstream to start to look towards.